People are tired of the bitter partisanship that has gripped, Albany for a long time, and certainly what has gripped Washington. We're not supposed to be enemies. We can disagree without being disagreeable.
Unfortunately, we're almost out of time, but I do want to say this. One of the reasons why reporters like myself like to talk to you so much is because you tell it like it is, and you don't shy away from hard questions.
Organized labor is feeling the pressure from, the economists and the so-called, masters of the universe who wrecked our economy, who basically said that what's wrong with our economy is not any of the malfeasance on Wall Street or the banks or bad economic policies. It's working people expecting to be paid a decent salary and having benefits into their old age.
This product, medical marijuana, has been studied extensively all over the world.
Okay, so you're a very convincing person, obviously. You got everybody on the IDC on board. Now you have to get the Republicans and, most importantly, the governor. So how do you go about doing that?
We will not be California. California is the worst practice model. We will not be reflecting California in any way, shape, or form. We are going to be adopting a very strict seed-to-sale regulation model here.
But you would see evidence that is presented to the grand jury released publicly, much like, as I mentioned, we saw in Ferguson.
What we saw in the Eric Garner case with respect to the grand jury in Staten Island is, as you pointed out in your opening comments, Liz, everybody across New York State was, quite frankly, surprised by the outcome. Because we'd all seen this video. We ask people to believe in the criminal justice system because it's a basic principle of our democracy. But in order to do that, they have to feel that it's fair. And in this case, people don't believe that it was fair. And what's compounding that sense of disbelief is no one knows what went on in the grand jury.
And Diane Savino says the legislation is still being drafted, but she is expecting to introduce it soon and hopes to push it into law before the end of session.
It's a very complicated policy. It's a very sensitive subject for many people. Many people of faith look at this, and they have concerns about how they could reconcile this with their either Catholicism or their Judaism.
It is about the fairness of people who are of the right age, of sound mind, who choose to live together, share everything together, and want to be able to have the protections that government grants those of us who have the privilege of marriage and treat it so cavalierly in our society. Put on network TV. We're giving away husbands on a game show. You can watch The Bachelor, where 30 desperate women will compete to marry a 40-year-old man who's never been able to maintain a decent relationship in his life. We have nothing to fear from people who are committed to each other, who want to share their lives and protect one another in the event of sickness, illness, or death. We have nothing to fear from love and commitment.